Welcome back to Buzz Recaps. Today, I will explain a romantic drama film released in 2021. Before moving ahead, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. The movie begins in 1889 when Gustav started remembering his past. He remembered the day 3 years ago when America thanked him. Gustav had made a design for the base of the Statue of Liberty. Because of this, the Statue of Liberty could be built, and now he was thinking about his next extensive construction. Meanwhile, his daughter Claire wants to get married. However, Gustav ignored her. He was thinking about making a metro in France. He was told that he should make a monument, which people always remember. He was given the idea of a 200-meter-long building, but he still wanted to make a metro, because for years, he thought that a metro could be used. One night, Gustav saw his journalist friend named Antoine at a party, and he started preparing to work with him. The next day, Claire told him that she wanted to marry a boy named Adolf. At the same time, Gustav had never heard of this name before. He was surprised when he found out that Adolf worked in his office later in the day. For Claire's happiness, he agreed to her marriage to her boyfriend. Moreover, Gustav takes care of his children after his wife's death. And now, with the new morning, and with the help of his friend Anton, he was able to meet the famous people of France. And in the meantime, he saw Anton's wife, Adrienne. Just after he talked to her, he started feeling strange. In the conversation, the other guests and Adrienne told him that he should think about making something to beat the Statue of Liberty instead of a metro. After hearing what Adrienne said, Gustav suddenly told everyone that he wanted to build a 300-meter-long tower made of iron. However, he will only build that tower in Paris, so that anyone could see it. Both rich and poor, he wanted to eliminate the difference between rich and poor, and everyone liked it. Meanwhile, no one knew that Gustav and Adrienne were together years ago, and Gustav still loves Adrienne. Gustav stayed in his office the whole night. The next day, he started preparing to build that tower. At the same time, he secretly kept an eye on Adrienne, and he followed her to her house. At that time, suddenly his friend Antoine saw him outside his house and invited him home. Gustav had to go to his house. Later, in the house, looking at Adrienne's belongings, he remembered his love for her 20 years ago. In the year 1860, when he was at the beginning stage of his engineering career, he used to raise his voice against the rich and save the lives of his workers. He was making a bridge for a man named Burgess. He discovered that Burgess' daughter was Adrienne, who had seen him saving a poor man. Burgess's entire family was happy with Gustav's work, and Adrienne started liking him. Later, he was thinking about that day in the present. Gustav was trying to focus on his work. However, he needed help concentrating, and that's why he faced difficulties making the right design. 20 years ago, it was challenging to be part of the rich people. However, with Adrienne's help, he became part of the rich people community. Slowly, with time, they came closer to each other. Meanwhile, Gustav knew that he couldn't trust a rich woman, because if she finds a better man than him, she will leave him. Moreover, Adrienne gets angry at Gustav because of what he told her. She started behaving like a crazy woman and tried to end her life, and Gustav lost to her stubbornness and madness. After that, they started a relationship. He got lost in those memories. After a few days, Gustav succeeded in designing the Eiffel Tower. Antoine was surprised to see that design. People were afraid that the tourists would be scared of that tower, or they would think that the tower was an evil-looking monument. However, Gustav knew the world would dream of coming close to that tower. On one hand, Gustav was thinking about Adrienne while being with Antoine. On the other hand, he was telling people that his design would not be damaged even amid lightning, rain, and storm. He had designed a design that people thought was impossible to build. Gustav's design was shown at the fair, where different people from all over the world came up with various ideas for their buildings. By defeating all of them, Gustav could build the Eiffel Tower. After some time, after listening to the judges' decisions, Adrienne and Gustav came close to each other. And when Gustav won the competition, Antoine understood that there was a history between Gustav and Adrienne. Later, after a few days, the work of the Eiffel Tower began, and every worker was excited about this historic work. A few days later, Gustav tried to improve his relationship with Adrian, and he even forgave Adrian. He also started telling Adrian that he wanted to meet her alone. At the same time, Adrian told him she was happy in her marriage, and there is nothing left between them. Later, Gustav was getting so lost in his past that he had forgotten, and along with his problem with Adrian, the construction problem also came before him. After facing some difficulties, he continued his work. However, he understood that some politicians only brought journalists with them for their benefit. He worked hard day and night, waiting for Adrian to come to him. And then, one day, the people of Paris began to raise their voices against the construction and started protesting because they were afraid of losing their lives. That time, one of Gustav's friends explained to him that he would have to talk to Antoine because they could calm people down with the help of the media. At the same time, Antoine was upset that the voice against Gustav was bothering Adrian. Meanwhile, Adrian understood that Antoine was upset about something, and her concern increased when she found out that Antoine was the man who had defamed Gustav. Later, Gustav knew that he would be ruined if he did not get the support of the people and the bank. That is why he had to bow down to Antoine, and he had to bear the humiliation in front of him. The situation got so bad that all the workers stopped working, and at that time, he remembered the day in his past when he found out that Adrian had left the city. Adrian's father had told Gustav that Adrian had only used him, and she did not want to marry him. That is why she went somewhere else. Gustav did not believe him. That is why he decided to wait for Adrian, while his wait never ended. After that time, Gustav was again drowning in loneliness. But today, Adrian told him the truth, which he never knew. 20 years ago, Adrian wanted to marry Gustav, but his parents were against this relationship. When Adrian told them that she would be the mother of Gustav's child, his father decided to send her away forever. And in the midst of all that, Adrian was hurt. Because of this, she lost her child. Gustav could not stop his tears after hearing that truth. And after years of misunderstanding, his relationship with Adrian started again. A few days later, Adrian told him Antoine knew the truth about them. However, a bigger problem was about to come to Gustav's way. The bankers told him they would not give Gustav any more money. Because no one would support his tower, Gustav closed all his bank accounts after hearing that. He sold everything and decided to complete the work. Later in the day, he told all the workers he would give them money when they reached the first level. They only had 15 days to get the first level. He gave courage to all the workers. He said that they would sweat their blood to complete this work. That is how the construction continued. People were still afraid that the workers' lives could be lost in the construction. But without fear, Gustav kept completing his work, and the workers succeeded in reaching the first level. Now they can complete the construction of 20 meters every month. Now, no one thinks that the workers' lives could be lost. And that was Gustav's victory. Adrian also became part of his happiness, and he continued to work for the entire time. And meanwhile, Adrian decides to leave Antoine forever and marry Gustav and live her life with him. That same night, he told Antoine everything. But Antoine said that because of the fear of money and defamation, Gustav and Adrian would never be together. And if they become together, Gustav's tower would never be built. He also said that if they became together, Antoine would not back down from defaming Gustav. That is why Adrian could never leave Antoine. Unknowingly, Gustav told his daughter Claire about Adrian, and he said he wanted Claire to stay with him and Adrian after some time. Gustav's happiness is hindered when Antoine comes to meet him along with Adrian. Antoine told him that he married Adrian when she was in the hospital, and when her parents broke off all ties with her. That is why it would be better for Gustav to forget Adrian. Meanwhile, Adrian leaves him because she has dreams of building a tower with Gustav, and Gustav lost his love once again. However, this time, he knew that Adrian truly loved him. That is why he was not angry with her. Despite losing his happiness, Gustav did not stop his work. At the same time, Claire understood that his father's problems and sorrows were increasing. The work of the tower continued rapidly, and on March 31st, 1889, the tower was shown in front of the whole of Paris. To build it, Gustav lost everything. Moreover, in the crowd of people, Gustav also saw Adrian, who was happy to see his success, and she was also sad to lose him. After building a historical monument, Gustav registered his name in history, and that tower was named after Gustav. But no one knows that the design of that tower was made with the name of Adrian in mind, and he built the tower for her and made his love alive forever. With that, the movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you next time. Take care.